Hello, I'm WECT First Alert Chief Meteorologist Gannon Medwick, and I'm so glad to see you for this third episode of Shootin' the Breeze. It's packed, and as usual, we kick it off with a trivia question if you want to give it a try. It goes like this. The current naming convention of hurricanes, according to an alphabetical list, began in the 1950s. Since then, one letter has started more names of North Carolina landfalling hurricanes than any other. Which is it? Is it A, B, C, F, or choice D, the letter I? A lot of hurricane history and a lot of letters to chew on there, and I will have your answer at the conclusion of Shootin' the Breeze in just a few minutes. The Cape Fear region averages 50 to 60 inches of rain per year, which means, among other things, a lot of chances for you to witness the most colorful of all meteorological phenomena, rainbows. In this Photographer's Corner segment, we'll discuss ways you might grab the biggest and boldest shot possible. I would say that Sam Massey had a good go at that here. A superb capture from Caswell Beach with the arc ending right at Oak Island Light. And you'll dig this head turner from Columbus County. Awesome job from Shelley Dew, which is a great weather name, by the way, too. Now, a professional photographer might tell you to have a steady shot, a small aperture, and a filter that maximizes vibrance to get the most out of the rainbow and the scene you're going to shoot. I like that because I'm at best an amateur photographer, but you bet I'm good to add a few meteorological points of consideration for shooting these beautiful bows. First, to get the most out of the basic building blocks of a rainbow, those would be sunlight and falling water drops, so you develop that full range of the visible light spectrum, you gotta get your positioning right. And approaching shower or storm from the west in the morning, or a shower or storm departing over the ocean near sunset, are classic setups that can present golden opportunities for rainbow sighting and photography in the Cape Fear region. So get your camera ready. And please consider the element of contrast as you do, i.e., if you can time it so your background is at its darkest and select a moment when the sun is unobscured by any thinner clouds and therefore at its brightest, the bolder your rainbow is likely to be. Get this shot from Mark Hubbard in Curie Beach. An ominous rain cloud stands in stark contrast to the unfiltered sun for an especially vibrant rainbow. I love it. And how about this for food for thought? Theoretically, a rainbow is actually a full circle, but only its top part is usually visible to a ground observer. I think you can really appreciate that circular form with how Robert Case positioned himself over the smooth, wet sand on Shell Island to capture not only this rainbow, but part of its reflection for roughly 90 degrees more of the arc. Now that's one gorgeous and efficient shot. Shooting down through a water stream from an elevated position also tends to increase the amount of a rainbow's arc visible to you. Some of the best rainbow shots I've ever seen have come from mountainsides or overlooking waterfalls. Not that we have a ton of mountains or waterfalls in the Cape Fear region, I'm just saying. And while we're shooting the breeze, the last and perhaps my favorite rainbow nugget is no one person ever sees the exact same rainbow. Though it may present like a static object, a rainbow is really just an optic that's existence depends on the landscape, the light source, and the unique position of the observer. So by extension, no one will ever experience your rainbow unless you photograph it and share it. So please do. In this edition of Forecaster's Notebook, a look at one of the biggest drivers of Atlantic hurricane activity that's actually rooted in the Pacific. I'm talking about the Southern Oscillation. In any given year, the waters of the equatorial eastern Pacific Ocean are either warmer than average, cooler than average, or occasionally right about average or neutral. The Southern Oscillation refers to this variability, and perhaps its most well-known phase is El Nino. That's when sea surface temperatures on this vast expanse of ocean are warmer than average, and when this happens, subtropical jets historically amplify flooding and severe weather patterns in North America. But one kind of storm that El Nino phases and their screaming subtropical jets tend to suppress is the Atlantic hurricane. It's ironic, as nasty as hurricanes are, they like to grow up in tranquil environments where the upper level winds aren't clawing into their structure every 2 minutes. And that's the kind of environment La Nina usually offers, as cooler than average equatorial Pacific waters promote lazier jetting into the Atlantic, and thus less shearing for tropical systems trying to organize and take their game to the next level. And as I'm filing this report in the heart of the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season, the Eastern Pacific is indeed in a cool La Nina phase for a third straight year. And after the two bruising Atlantic hurricane seasons of 2020 and 2021, let's hope the 2022 season ultimately bucks the statistics and stays on the tamer side. But only time will tell, and preparedness is always key. So please read and heed all you can find on the comprehensive and local WECT First Alert Hurricane Center page. That's at WECT.com/hurricane. Now it's time to see if you got this episode's trivia question correct. Which letter has started the most names of North Carolina landfalling hurricanes? The notorious and fairly recent hurricanes Fran, Floyd, and Florence may have had you leaning toward choice C for the letter F. But congratulations if you said D. The letter I has actually started the names of 4 landfalling North Carolina hurricanes since that modern naming convention began in the 1950s. Those are Ione in 1955, Isabel in 2003, Irene in 2011, and most recently on the Cape Fear coastline in 2020, Isaias. That's it for this third episode of Shootin' the Breeze. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, the best way to support it is to comment, like, share, and subscribe where applicable, and please connect with me on these platforms. If you have a question about a topic you saw here on Shootin' the Breeze, if you have a suggestion for a Cape Fear or Carolina weather item you'd like to see covered in the future, or if you just want to say hello and what's the good word. And as always, WECT.com/anywhere is a great place to find more unique WECT OTT content. Hope I'll see you for the next episode of Shootin' the Breeze, and take care.